Hey people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 40 of Phoenix Wright History Justice for All. Last time, we were delayed in the trial in the hopes that just Gumshoe could find out Maya. Mia helped save the day by basically telling them where Maya is located because Maya channeled her. And we were going to delay for more time by throwing Adrian under the bus. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question would provide us with the name of the real criminal. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manager, Adrian Andrews, to the stand. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before? That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secret? All right. Why? Why does she... Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a very small cavity, just small enough with just enough room to store a small item. And congrats, CzarThwomp, you're now flubbing the Maki voice. How do you do it? Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. What if you just break the bear open? You can't really tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it.
So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it?
Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree?
Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
It looks like there really was something to that bear after all.
A puzzle? That's right.
But it looks like an ordinary figurine.
True enough. The people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So, what kind of puzzle is this exactly? Sorry about that. So you can take it apart, and how would one go about doing it? Well, you first turn its tail to the right and then push it in.
Oh, yes, I see.
After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed.
Oh, this is most interesting.
A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again.
Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I'm just jeopardizing evidence.
I think he's lost it. So what did you find after you took the... So what would you find after you take the puzzle apart? And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who brought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland.
Then this was a present from you?
That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. Because, yeah, oh right, yes. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are many people with the same bear in this country.
But this looks like it could be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get at what was inside.
Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. Who else knows that this bear is actually a small container, or jewelry box? I never told anyone, and as long as Juan never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? And of course that means Mr. Ungar didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm going to get for now. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there's only one very important fact that we have uncovered, and that is this. This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there is only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box?
What's inside?
That's right. That's what we are going to find out next, witness. Yes. You are the only one who can open this, please. There's a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. I've opened it. Is this what you wanted?
What is that? It looks like a note.
I don't think we need to guess at all what this is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note.
The suicide note?
The suicide note left by Juan Cordo's former mattress, Celeste Impasse. Until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Cordo himself. It seems Celeste Impasse had very beautiful handwriting, and she just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she had committed right before her suicide.
Order! Witness, did you know about this?
Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Because it had already been taken by the killer.
Everything is going at Mr. Edgeworth's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question?
What is written on the note?
That's right. At least that's what I would think.
Now then, I believe it is only appropriate that the contents of the note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it, and I was going to burn it for her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. And plus, I really want to read this. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud.
Very well.
The judge's voice rang out loud and clear through the dead, silent courtroom. In her notes, Celeste Impasse left to us a record of all that had happened to her, about being used and then thrown away by Ungard, about being engaged to Gorda and Ungard's role in destroying that, and about how she decided, in her despair, to end it all.
And that's all Miss Impasse had to say.
There's only one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Ungard.
Then what?
Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference.
My word!
Matt Ungard values above all else his refreshing like a spring breeze image, which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost!
It's Ungard's fault that woman killed herself. And this time, he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that. How terrible! What a selfish person! I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will defend these creeps too.
There's no margin for doubt here. Mr. De Killer's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note, and the only person who needed this note that badly was the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear was with the note itself was found in the defendant's house.
It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone.
Ugh! How is supposed to escape from this one? Why, by throwing Adrian under the bus! Do the Kyoko, Phoenix! Do the Kyoko! You gotta do it. You have to do it, Phoenix. You have to do it. You have to throw her under the bus.
Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know that what you must do.
I know. I have to carry on and buy us some more time. Okay, there are two deadly pieces of evidence. The figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of this situation through one of those.
The gavel was already in the judge's hand, Phoenix. Hurry!
Easy, the suicide note. You gotta confirm that handwriting. Please wait, Your Honor.
Oh man, look at that lawyer! He's still going at it! It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get the killer off the hook.
I think Your Honor believes that Master Ungard killed in order to obtain this note.
Yes, that is correct.
But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Corda until the night of the murder. If that is the case, I say my guard could not have known what was written on this note.
Oh, I didn't think of it that way.
Exactly, but I did think of it that way, and I thought that it was rather strange. No one in the right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said.
Order, order, order! You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion?
It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one.
Unfortunately, I think he believes differently.
I believe a show of appreciation is in order.
Huh?
The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself.
You go, Phoenix! This is really good for my despair boner! Fight for the Bears, Phoenix! Fight for the Bears!
I would like to direct the court's attention to this.
What is that?
It is a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying.
Spying?
What the? I thought the spy camera was in my possession. Mad Ungar and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find out each other's weaknesses.
And?
The victim one quarter was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Mad Ungar.
Order, order! Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
you don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities.
Well, sort of.
Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright.
I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was stuffed in the bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not the same one. It is from the past, because I can time travel, right? Because I am magnificent like that. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch, using this Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera.
Mr. Ungar's fingerprints were on there?
Well, Phoenix, looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh?
What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. Ungar learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good with this time. I don't even have anything to counter that.
Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking?
Mommy, is that man the bad guy the bad killer guy?
Shush, stop, don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so, ew, nasty.
Phoenix,
Yes, Chief?
have you figured out what you're gonna do next?
What am I going to do next? Does running away sound like a frightened child work?
I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing.
Well, what is it, Mia?
There's a piece of evidence that he really should investigate.
Something he should investigate.
I would really hate to see a good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance.
Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? You think Mia would try her best to be blunt? I mean, her sister's life is on the line.
Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you?
What is this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is just that needs to be looked at, or should I let go? I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. Objection! Your Honor, the defense has no intentions of letting this go so easily.
You are beginning to sound desperate.
That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing.
Hey, isn't that what I just said?
So, you're
Sorry. You're now mistaking me for the judge, CzarThwomp? How little do you think of me? So you're telling me that I forgot something. You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence.
That is Miss Impaw's suicide note, right?
Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on this suicide note has yet to be analyzed.
Oh!
So, as to whether or not this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impasse or not, has yet to even been remotely confirmed.
Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting...
Mr. Wright, are you saying this suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Ungard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear? How dare you? Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again! There's no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever! But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it! What? Recall that the witness is testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote so you could use it to frame Matt on guard. I did no such thing. What? If you're going to pronounce the suicide note fake, then share this courtroom some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. And Phoenix just feels so good because now the shoe's on the other foot. He doesn't have to prove the evidence, the prosecution does. No! I've been righted! I'm now right!
That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm this handwriting on the suicide note?
It was the defense has stated! It is as the defense has stated! The handwriting is yet to be analyzed!
If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible.
That's impossible!
This isn't good, Phoenix.
The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day.
I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have another choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis my butt, that's just the lawyer trying to buy more time. Ungar's guilty, look, any idiot could tell you that.
And then meanwhile, Francisca, she's just in the hospital, she's thrashing about, she's like, my record, it could have been revived! Darn you, Miles Edgeworth, damn you to hell!
I think we reached the end of the line.
Guilty! 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 Guilty!
And then Francisca, she's like, where was this gallery during my trials?
What is that sound?
It's Gumshoe! Hello, Gumshoe! What is with him? And what's with that side? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer?
He got away!
What?
I'm sorry, Belle, I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make up to you, really do. I can make you some weenies.
Anyways, what's going on?
We gotta hide up, pal. But the two of them were already gone.
This is terrible.
I'm gonna keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. Just getting you a little more time. But don't tell me we don't have any more. Guilty, 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 guilty.
And then Phoenix, Gumshoe, does not sound like we have enough time. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head.
Mr. Wright, I get for us to come this far and... Oh, you have Mr. Edgeworth with you. Tell Mr. Edgeworth to catch Shirley. Use his powers to detain Shirley the killer.
What is it?
Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. He's the only one who can save us.
I can't do that.
Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after.
Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch! And then Phoenix just throws the phone and smacks Edgeworth right in the face. Damn it, Wright! You know I'm not that good at sports! Edgeworth, it was a phone! Still, it hurt my face and I wasn't expecting it!
Mr. Edgeworth!
My face is a pain, Gumshoe!
Please, you gotta buy some more time!
Court is in session. Damn! Edgeworth is savage! I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying?
Mr. Wright, this is a court of law!
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but...
I am reluctant to do this. However, it appears I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow.
This time, I really can't do anything.
Court is now adjourned for the day.
Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time.
For what purpose?
We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time.
But you can really obtain your results in 30 minutes?
I believe we can, Your Honor. I can at the very least.
But would it be better if we adjourn for the day and then reconvene tomorrow?
30 minutes! Please, Your Honor! That's all I am asking for! Please, Your Honor!
Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. Be advised that I will not allow another recess today.
I'm sure if this is helping or hurting us.
The court will now take its final recess of the day.
Right! Well, what's going on with my situation? The killer. It looks like he got away again. 30 minutes. We can't find her in that time. Urgh. Report!
Is that Mr. Edgeworth?
You deny me, Gumshoe!
Of course not, sir! I'm sorry! Please forgive my sins!
We don't have time to spit it out!
Right! It looks like we just missed him, sir. But the killer left a few things by accident and is rushing away.
A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence?
Ho! I thought you'd ask, pal! I've got the things he left with me right now and I'm on my way over.
Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime flap first.
We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir! When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. I punched 3 of them in the face.
What?
Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now.
Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get into too much trouble over this.
With my junk car, I'll have you over there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me.
Alright, just get here in one piece.
I'm on a mission. No one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm blowing all the stops and running every red light.
I am just by the murder, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive to end this. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me!
No one can stop. I'm...
What happened? It's simple, right? Gumshoe has now become has now become a statistic in a cell phone commercial for a PSA on driving and talking on your cell phone. It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help. But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No! We can't let that happen! Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why? Oh, why did Gumshoe have to go get in an accident now? Is there any way for us to find exactly where he is at the moment? Yes, there is a way. That's right! There is a way! What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Right, we're not in the middle of a mock trial here. I guess it won't work. Let's get to 30. Alright, I'll think of something on my end. Don't get your hopes up too high. Basically, I thought we hit the transceiver for a second. Did I say something wrong? Edgeworth, what is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty, but what I'm doing now, I'm playing the guilt on someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, defense attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right! Oh, please, Wright. Like you have the money to go on a spiritual journey across the globe. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict.
Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here?
Yes, bailiff?
there's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent.
They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. No saving. We're keeping this going. March 23rd.
Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth?
It looks like something unexpected just happened to him.
Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Impas's suicide note?
Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery.
What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This note wasn't written by Miss Impas herself. It is a fake.
Order, Mr. Edgeworth. Would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impas, then who wrote it?
We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corda.
Mr. Corda?
Well, it looks like Miss Impas never left the suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Mr. Unger.
However, Your Honor, even though the suicide note is intended to be a fake, Mr. Ungard could not have known that, and so the facts remain unchanged. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it.
That does sound very plausible.
His theory that Ungard had no idea that the suicide note was a fake. Something else seems a little wrong with it. The defense believes that the theory that the prosecution said contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Ungard to not have known it was a fake.
What is this little item called again?
A video camera, Your Honor. Well, a very small one, but...
Oh, that's right, a camera! You kids and your fancy toys nowadays.
Mr. Edgeworth, earlier you claimed that Mr. Ungard knew of the existence of this note, because he was spying on the victim, isn't that right? If that were true, then this means Mr. Ungard would have known that the victim had forged the note. Ah! However, what if he forged it years ago? What if he forged it right after, basically, Celeste killed herself? You don't know. He could have forged it right then and there, and then just kept it hidden.
So then, the defense knew this note was a fake. And if that's true, then the situation has suddenly changed in a very drastic way.
Exactly, Your Honor. The prosecution's theory as to what Mr. Ungard's motive for murder was, it has suddenly disappeared into thin air. But, Your Honor, it's not as if Mr. Ungard monitored this recording 24 hours a day. Perhaps the victim wrote the note in a place Mr. Ungard didn't know about. Well, back to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Why don't you show us some proof that the victim made the forgery at an unknown place? Ah! Stop using my tricks against me, Wright!
Order! Mr. Edgeworth! It looks like this time it is you who has dug his own grave.
As I figured.
Huh? As you figured?
As I figured. It came down to this after all.
Mr. Edgeworth, you're not making any sense.
When I heard the results of the handwriting analysis, I thought this might happen. The question is, what next? What next? If the prosecution can't prove Mr. Ungard's motive through this evidence, then we must prove it from another angle.
Well, I agree with you there.
Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call a witness to the stand at this time.
Oh, well, that's fine.
However, this witness is a little unusual. Edgeworth stuttering. This isn't like him at all.
Unusual? Well, what sort of witness is this person, Mr. Edgeworth?
This witness is one who is perfectly fit to answer once and for all the question of who was it that hired Charlie the Killer to commit murder? That's impossible! Who in the... No such person exists who can answer that question with such certainty. Except me, Wright.
Yeah, Miss Edgeworth knows everything! Yes, Mr. Edgeworth, who is this witness?
It is,
Yes, go on, who is it?
the man himself, Mr. Shelley the Killer.
Oh, Mr. the Killer. What? Shelley the Killer? You mean the killer, or I mean the assassin?
Yes, your honor.
He's coming here to the witness stand?
Well, yes, in a manner of speaking. I recognize that this is a very unusual circumstance, so I ask you for your permission.
Well, Mr. Wright?
Yes?
Is this alright with you?
Do I have a choice here? I can't really do much else to drag this trial out. The defense has no objections, your honor.
I wonder if it really is alright to do this.
Very well, then the prosecution calls our witness to the stand. Edgeworth, is there no other way left to us? Now then, witness, your name and your, occupation, please.
Yes, Shelley has a transceiver.
Very good, sir. My name is Shelley the Killer, and I am a professional assassin. Yeah, and if you notice, the transceiver actually does match his face. It is actually pretty funny.
I say, what is going on here?
Your honor?
How can you remain so calm? And what's the meaning of this two-way radio?
Yeah, literally, it's Shelley's head as a radio. It's wonderful. Actually, your honor, it was delivered to me just now, and it came with a condition. As long as we do not trace its source, Mr. the Killer will testify to this court. So this must be what that urgent phone call he got earlier was about.
Oh ho! Oh no, this will not do. I cannot allow this in my court. First of all, we can't even be sure this is really Mr. the Killer himself.
Witness, please present some sort of proof that you are in fact Shelley the Killer. I understand. Please wait a second. I'm so hungry! In that case, Miss Faye, you should have eaten the garden salad. It's still available for you. Never! I won't eat vegetables! In which case you will starve, Miss Faye. And now you are humiliating, embarrassing me in front of the courtroom. Are you happy with yourself? I'm hungry! Eat the salad, Miss Faye. Maya!
A voice. Mr. Wright, can you confirm anything about this?
The defense has no objection to this person. We are satisfied that this man is indeed Shelley the Killer.
It looks like we have run into yet another unexpected turn of events. Well, it doesn't seem like we have too many choices under these circumstances, so...
Now then, witness, there's one thing I would like to confirm before we speak of anything else. And what would that be? At the request of a client, you killed Mr. Juan Corda. Is this correct? It is as you say. I did indeed kill Mr. Corda. Now that we have answered that, let's move on to the name of your client. Very well.
This is all just a bad dream. Yes, that's it. A bad dream.
Shelley the Killer. What is he going to say? About my client. There is something I must first state. To an assassin, nothing is more important than the trust between a client and himself. And that is the reason I am here today on this witness stand. It is my wish that you grasp this concept before I give you the name of my client.
Mr. the Killer seems to be a very clever man. I'd almost say he seems to be mocking us.
While he may appear to be our enemy, Your Honor, Mr. the Killer is only saying the truth. He is no hypocrite. He has always stood by this one belief.
You mean about this trust between his clients and himself thing? It seems to be a level of trust beyond what people like me can comprehend. Well, Mr. Wright, are you ready to cross-examine the witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's no way to know what's coming next, so stay cool and collected, Phoenix.
And with that, I think now would be a good time to end things off. I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer. I hope you come back for the next one. If you like to, you like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, I'll see you later. Bye.